dash over to Los Angeles in time
Yes,
to board
let's
the new
do.
Union Pacific Streamline train as it arrives in the station and prepares to leave on its record run across the continent to New York City. Fort,
Why, yes, I am.
we
Thanks for
glide
noticing.
away from the station to break a record that has stood for over 28 years.
Most
Fully
crashes.
streamlined, this train is ultra-modern in every respect. Air-conditioned, comfortable, clean, quiet. Everything the most exacting passenger could ask for.
Except brakes, we couldn't afford those.
First call for dinner.
Sorry, more of a supper guy.
Now we're rolling along at 120 miles an hour.
It's the perfect moment to eat some undercooked shellfish. 1517 to boredom.
Say, what town was that?
You are a cut-up.
Up ahead is a 12-cylinder Winton diesel engine, directly coupled to a huge generator. The engine develops 900 horsepower, and when that power turns the generator, we just more than go.
Okay.
And the remarkable thing is that this engine is lubricated with regular automobile oil.
Ew.
The kind of oil many of us buy at our favorite service station.
You know nothing of my life.
On and on that giant engine takes us, leaving state after state behind.
Later, Idaho. See you, Nebraska. Eat dust, Ohio. Go to hell, Dakotas.
And then, New York, all in 56 hours and 55 minutes. Farther, faster, safer.
Ding, ding, ding.
And for those of us who seek even greater speed in getting from one coast to the other, the United Airlines operate these trim, twin-motored Boeing monoplanes.
Cool.
Service starts either at Los Angeles, San Francisco, or Seattle, with all three sections converging at Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake
At San
City?
Francisco, our ship is made ready for a beeline dash to New York via Chicago. Lubricating oil is pumped into the engine
saying
to
that.
ensure cool, smooth-running service throughout the long grind that would burn and sludge all but the best quality oil.
Uh-huh.
United Airliners are not operated by guests. Everything used is checked
Didn't
for
think they
quality.
were.
Every part is inspected. Everything is ready before a plane leaves the ground.
The plane is stocked with Stroop waffles and stale pretzels. Gremlin traps are placed in the engine wells.
In the pilot's compartment is a full complement of instruments to guide both pilots over the long stretches of mountains, lakes, plains, and cities that make up the United States.
Oops, delayed again.
Now, everything is set. The flight release has been issued, and the plane taxis to the air station.
Passengers high on bourbon and duty-free Toblerones amble into the cabin.
Passengers take their places in the cabin and relax in comfortable reclining chairs.
Drink orders are shouted in a din of chaos.
A turn of the propellers, a roar from the engines, and we're away.
Goodbye.
Those Pratt & Whitney Wasp engines lift their cargo higher and higher over the housetop. The ground
Quick,
drops
quick,
away.
quick.
Homes become dollhouses. San Francisco dwindles into a mere checker square.
An opportunity for introspection squandered on the rich.
A giant cloud lies between us and the Golden Gate. Meanwhile, at Los Angeles Airport, another ship takes off to join us at Salt Lake City. Los Angeles City Hall thrusts its 28 stories high above the 13-story buildings of the business district.
New from Lego
Air
Architecture.
travelers from Seattle, Spokane, Tacoma, and Portland fly over the historic Oregon Trail and the beautiful Columbia River Gorge.
This is prime loogie hawking altitude.
On we fly, as far in 5 minutes as a covered wagon could go in a day.
Well, if that's your point of comparison, you're always going to feel like a god.
Our ship glides over Lake Tahoe, 6,200 feet above sea level. Snow-covered peaks and forest-studded ranges slip by, leaving an impression of stimulating beauty.
Just an impression, not actual stimulating beauty.
Below us lies the Great Salt Lake with salt water so buoyant that you float when you swim in it whether you want to or not. And here's Salt Lake City, nestled in the beautiful mountains of Utah, with its famous wide streets and Mormon temple. This structure was constructed without the use of a single nail.
Well, I hope somebody got fired.
Wasatch Range stands guard over Salt Lake City as we leave it behind.
So long, suckers.
The stewardess, ever helpful, points out a place of interest as the fast-moving panorama passes beneath.
Ah, Mordor.
Possibly you've wondered about these tall mountain peaks with more than passing concern. This is the way pilots see things. Regardless of rain, snow, or fog, the artificial horizon, aided by other instruments, enables the pilots to keep the ship on an even keel. Other aids are available. The pilots communicate with the nearest of 37 ground radio stations throughout the trip.
It's Double Shot Wednesday.
Now we've reached Omaha, where connections are made with planes from the north and southwest.
Good luck catching those connecting flights. Customer service hasn't been invented yet.
Then we fly over the Mississippi, the father of rivers, a boundary line that once separated empires is now but a point in a division over which some pilots have flown their planes 3,000 times.
Narrator, you're a weird guy.
Then Chicago, that teeming mart of trade and terminal for travelers.
Chicago Mart.
Here we pause a moment and soon are off again.
We mustn't tarry for even a moment, lest the shame and convictions of our frittered lives catch up with us and karma delivers its hellish payload.
Here's Cleveland with its outstanding railroad terminal in the heart of its commercial center.
I can see Drew Carey from here.
And then it's only a malted milk or two as we hurry onward to the
2 malted
Statue
milks
of
on a
Liberty
plane. Ugh.
and the one and only New York City.
With its jukebox musicals and insane mayors.
The Empire State Building and near it the Chrysler Spire are up-thrusting beacons above the metropolis of the world, our destination.
Up-thrusting? This short is wildly inappropriate.
We deplane at Newark Airport, a beehive of activity.
No,
Passengers
don't
are
do it.
Arriving and departing day and night.
Turn
For
back.
This is the hub of a huge network of airlines. Someone's going someplace all of the time and going
theory.
farther, faster, safer.
No, wait. It's been delayed.
Nor is the spirit of speed with safety confined to interstate land and air travel. This giant 19-ton, 4-engine, 32-passenger Sikorsky airliner is fueled with high-quality gasoline and lubricating oil for a test
Again
flight
with the
before
lubricating
being
oil.
delivered to a large aviation company. Out to sea like a daring mariner of old.
Even on the water, you have to taxi for an hour before you can take off. Our in-flight movies are Aquaman and The Shape of Water, and all our towelettes are, well, they're moist towelettes. Welcome aboard. Splish.
Faster, faster, faster. The powerful Pratt & Whitney engines turn until she's off, rising with the grace of a swan.
Okay, but if I could just...
Always forward and upward until the powerful 3,000 horsepower motors are propelling this enormous clipper ship at 160 miles an hour.
Right, but if you consider
During a series of trial flights, after the ship had been thoroughly tested and the engines had been broken in,
Right,
this deluxe airliner reclaimed for the United States the 10 efficiency records for seaplane transport service, which
Yeah.
for years had been held by France and Germany.
Okay,
Wings
sure,
across
but...
the sea. This luxurious monarch of the airways over the sea has found its place with sister ships in South American air travel.
That's really interesting because it
Another
makes me
test
think of...
is nearly ended. The big bird slowly descends. The trial a complete success.
Oh, that's great
Few
because...
adjustments must be made.
Damn
Trivial
it.
things to you and to me, but of great importance to Sikorsky because everything must be in perfect condition.
Oops, clank,
Now she
explode.
lights on the water and taxis back to her dock.
Thanks for flying Soggy Airways. Welcome to the harbor where you can catch a seahorse to Atlantis or your final destination.
Up the ramp climbs the sturdy ship as proud engineers and mechanics prepare her berth in the hangar. Another record has been made. Another test for efficiency has been met, and a vow to go farther, faster, safer has been fulfilled.
Sounds pretty kinky when you say it that way, but okay.
Here's another test for aircraft and particularly for lubricants. These
I'm
giant
listening.
condors of the Eastern Airlines start from the cold north and land in the warm south, all within a few hours.
Bring a sweater, but also don't.
This ship looks like a big beetle, but it doesn't maneuver like one. A beetle doesn't know much about flying compared to this competitor for the rights of the airway.
No one can own the airwaves, man, except Casey Kasem or Howard Stern or the Doughboys.
You might think that these passengers were commuters catching the 725 instead of embarking on a flight of more than 1,100 miles between Newark and Miami.
The longest lateral move in recorded history.
The starter's grown, and away we go.
We maybe should have mentioned that this is an experimental craft constructed out of silly putty and paper mache, but, well, too late for that. Strap in. Though you'll find that the straps are Twizzlers.
A sister ship arrives from Miami. Before going back into service, everything must be checked. Here are 3 young mechanics preparing the Condor for another trip to the Southland.
These are ice cream vendors.
Go ahead.
Fill her up with the soft serve.
Okay, Carl, I'll be funny. Sure sure doesn't take much oil to come all the way from Miami.
Nothing like a little on-the-job lubrication talk with the fellas. Well, what else? Fun with Shorts is made possible by these smart, attractive patrons. Join us at patreon.com/JoshWay for lots of fun with shorts, behind-the-scenes goodies, art, movie reviews, and deep, dark confessions on an exclusive podcast feed. All for a pledge as small as $1 per post. We will see you next time for more fun with additional shorts. Goodbye.